So guys, hope all are doing well. Right, so today we'll be starting off a new chapter called accounting for non-profit organization. Now, for certain set of students, I would have already given this note what is on the screen over here. And for the ones who are doing this lesson for the very first time, or for the ones who don't have the note, please pause this video and please take down this note what is given on the screen, because this is the same note what I generally start off classes with, right? Anyway, right, starting off non-profit organization. Right now, remember, like I said in the last class, this is one of the most technical lessons in advanced level accounting. That is because you need to be very clear with certain set of theories, right? So taking a non-profit organization, they do prepare a different set of accounts, and also they do prepare 5. Okay, so let's start off with subscription account. Right, number 1, what do you mean by subscription? Subscription is another name given for membership fee, right? So remember, for a non-profit organization, their main source of income will be membership fee, if not subscription fee, right? So learning how to prepare a subscription account will be the first step of this chapter, right? Now guys, over here I have given you the, what you can say, the format of the subscription account, right? So let me little bit run through this over there, right? Number 1, you have an opening balance on this side. So what does this mean? This is subscription in arrears opening balance, right? Now remember, subscription in arrears means the members who should pay money for you. Okay, so maybe last year fees they have not paid, or still this year fee they have not. Okay, these the fee what they have not paid for you last year, right? So remember, subscription in arrears is also known as subscription receivable. So subscription receivable means it is an asset to the business organization. So therefore all assets, there should be an opening brought forward on the debit side, right? Second thing as given over here is subscription received in advance, right? Now remember, subscription received in advance is where before the year commencing they have paid you the fee. So when the members have paid for you already, the organization now owes these members, so therefore it will become a liability. So remember, subscription received in advance is a liability. In accounting, all opening liabilities will have a opening balance on their credit side. So that's why guys, you see a brought forward on this side as well. Okay, so remember, the first brought forward is subscription receivable. It is an asset, therefore it comes on debit side. The second brought forward is subscription received in advance. This is where members have paid you early. It's a liability, therefore it comes on the credit side. Right, number 3, subscription received in cash. Right now guys, over here I have given you something called R&P. Right, what do you mean by R&P? R&P is the full form of receipts and payments account. So before we go into that, let me little bit explain about this. Right now guys, a quick note, receipts and payments account is similar to cash book. So remember, profit making organizations prepare something called a cash book. Non-profit making organizations also prepare a similar thing, but they give a name called receipts and payments, right? So just like how the cash book operates, when money comes in, receipts and payments account is debit. When money goes out, receipts and payments account is credit. Now see for an example over here, subscription received. Right now remember, when subscription is received, it's a cash inflow. So if it's a cash inflow, inside receipts and payments account you will debit, and then subscription account will be credit. That's why guys, you see this over here. So remember, what does this mean? Subscription received. So remember, normally in question papers they won't tell the word cash. So when you see the word something is received, then they're talking about this part. So what you should do is simply go and mark this on the credit side. So again, why is it coming on the credit side? When you receive, receipts and payments account is debit, but we are not preparing receipts and payments, we are preparing subscription account. So therefore the subscription account will now be on the credit side on this side, right? Next thing guys, number 4, subscription income recognized, right? So before I go to this, now here I have given something called INE. What does INE mean? Right, over here guys, you can see INE is income and expenditure account. Right now remember, profit making organizations prepare something called the income statement. Non-profit making organizations also prepare the income statement and they give a name to it called income and expenditure account. So income and expenditure account is similar to the income statement. Now remember, inside the income and expenditure account, all incomes are credited. Right. Now see, subscription is the main source of income for a non-profit organization. That means inside the income and expenditure account, because subscription is an income, it will appear on the credit side. That's why you see this appearing on the debit side. Okay, so remember subscription income. How do you mark that one? Inside the income and expenditure account, this is coming on the credit side because it's an income. Therefore, inside subscription account, now this will come on the debit side. Right. The note given over here, I will be practicing a question with you, then you will understand what does this note mean. But remember, the one given in the box is very important to do MCQs in your A-level past papers. Right, next one. Subscription written off. Right, now most of you have already done with me income statement or sole trader. Now in sole trader, we learned something called bad debt written off. So bad debt written off is where your trade receivables don't pay you. Subscription written off is also something similar to that, is where members have stayed inside your organization but they have not paid the money, they have left without paying money, so it's an expense. So remember, if it's an expense inside income and expenditure account, it will come on debit side. That's why in the subscription account number 5 you see it on this side. Now remember, this INE is what? Subscription income, it comes on debit side. What is this INE? This is where subscriptions have been cancelled off. So remember, anything that you cancel is an expense, therefore it comes on the credit side. Right, and then guys, to wrap it up, right, number 6, subscription arrears closing. Now when I started off this video, I said that subscription arrears means what? Receivable. So receivable opening balance comes on debit side, where the closing balance now come on the credit side. Likewise, last one, subscription in advance. So remember, subscription received in advance, opening balance comes on credit, why? It's a liability, therefore the closing balance guys now comes on the debit side. Right, now remember, you have to memorize subscription account, the format where each transaction comes, because let's say you're going to pick up this question in your examination. In any question that you take, you need to learn how to prepare this account properly, because this is the base of non-profit organization. Right, so I will do 2 questions on this and then we'll check and see the other questions how we are going to handle on that one. Okay, right. Right, so guys, this format I'll keep it as it is on the screen so that we can look at this and then do the question. Right, right. So guys, I'll be providing okay, yeah, I have provided you the link over there, so I hope all of you right has okay or have downloaded this tute. Right, right. Right, so guys, question number 1. Okay, the first thing what I want you to do is write number 1. Please draw a T account in your writing book and mark and keep there question number 1. Right, so today the first 2 questions what we are doing, I will definitely look at the format each and every time that we mark a transaction so that you understand clearly. Right, right. So guys, look at this one. Right, following are details related to subscription account of Sigiri Sports Club for the year 2002. Okay, so remember, we are going to do this question for 2002. Please underline that year and keep. Right, number 1, subscription receivable. Okay, right, now guys, in your tute mark there and keep. Receivable means it's in arrears. Right, now remember, if subscription is in arrears, right, see when you look at the format over here, subscription arrears opening balance should always come on the debit side. Right, so guys, in your T account, please go and mark this as balance brought forward 1200. Right, okay, so guys, that part is done. Next one, subscription received in 2001 for the year 2002. Okay, right, now see this part. Last year itself, there are some members who have paid for you before the year starts. So in 2001 you collected money for 2002, means this is now given in advance. So therefore, when you look at the format over here, subscription in advance, right? Over here the opening balance should now come on the credit side, right? So you go and mark that over there. So we have BBF, it's 200. Right, so guys, even in your tute I want you to mark the first one as arrears. So remember, arrears opening balance comes on debit side. This one I want you to mark it and keep it as advance. Advance opening balance will always come on the credit side. Right, next one. Right, total subscription received in 2002, right? If I'm not mistaken guys, there's a small mistake in this question. Can you guys please make this 2001? Okay, right. Right, next one. Total subscription received, right? I want you to underline the word received over here, right? Now remember, the moment they tell received, right? Received is obviously where you get cash, so therefore that will always be your receipts and payments, right? So these are the keywords what you have to pick up when you do a question. That is, the moment that they tell receive, they're talking about cash. So cash means in this chapter it's about receipts and payments, right? Right, when you look at the format, R and P guys now comes on the credit side, right? So you go and mark that one over there, right? R and P, which is now going to be 35,600. Okay, right, now remember, subscription received means what? Money comes in. So when money comes in, receipts and payments account will be debit, whereas subscription account will be credit. Okay, so that's why we have marked this on the credit side, right? Total subscription receivable, right? Now again remember, if it's receivable means what? It's in arrears. So remember, for arrears we already have an opening balance, so definitely this has to be the closing balance, right? Now look at number 6. Number 6 is what? Subscription arrears closing. So that comes now guys on the opposite side. So I'll mark it as carried down, 5,100. So remember, subscription receivable is an asset, and that's the closing asset. In accounting, closing assets will always come on the credit side, right? Okay, then guys, last one, subscription received for 2003. Now remember, we are doing this account for 2002. So there are some members who have paid for the next year. So generally when they pay for the next year, you receive money early. So therefore it's subscription received in advance, right? We already have an advance opening. So therefore guys, this is now our advance closing balance. So when you look at the format, advance closing now comes on debit side, right? So you mark over there, right? Carry it down. That's 600. Right, now guys, we have marked all 5 transactions that was given to us, right? So now what are we supposed to do in this question? You are supposed to now close this account and find the missing figure, right? So how to close the account? Now when you see this side, we have 1,200 and 600. Here we have 3 numbers, so this is the largest side. So guys, number 1, you total this up now. So 200 plus 35,600 plus 5,100 should give us 40,900. Okay, so 40,900. Right, so guys, you go and take that as your total in your T account. Right, so therefore on debit side also now it has to be 40,900. Right, Right, so guys, there's small technical difficulty over here. Please make this also what you can say 40,900. Okay, the debit side total also. Right, right now guys, as you can see, right now what I want to do, from 40,900, please subtract these two values over here. Right, so 40,900 minus 600 minus 1,200 will now be 39,100. Right, so I want you to mark this as I slash E, make it capital, I slash E, 39,100. Right. Okay, now guys, remember in this question what was our objective, right? Point number one, you have to mark all 5 transactions. So when you mark all 5 transactions, what happens is that the credit side is much more bigger than the debit side. So what you should do, right, number one, you total this up, so we get an answer of 40,900. Okay, so right, so this 40,900 should be taken as the total of your account. Copy the same thing to this side. Then guys, what you should do is, from 40,900, please subtract 600 as well as 1,200. The missing figure what you get is income and expenditure. So remember, in most past papers also, they will ask you to prepare an account this way, and they will ask you to find how much is the missing figure, income and expenditure. Right, I'll do one more question guys with y'all. Right, and then we can move to the other exercises after this. Right, so these more of a straightforward question. Right, look at this one. The following information is extracted. So guys, again, please draw a T account in your writing book. Following information is extracted from the books of Suhanda Sports Club for the year ended 31st of December 2001. Right, number one, subscription collected. Please underline the word collected and write cash. Right, so guys, remember, when you receive cash, you go and record this in something called the receipts and payments account. Okay, right, now when you look at your format over here, receipts and payments will always come on the credit side of your subscription account. Right, so go and mark guys this one. Right, R and P 20,000. So again, remember, subscription collected means what you got in cash. So what you get in cash is always receipts and payments. Right, okay, now guys, unlike the last question, this one is a very straightforward question. Right, number one, they have given for us balance as at 1st of January. So what I want you to do is, top of this, please mark there and keep opening balances. Likewise, 31st of December 2001, top of this, please mark and keep guys closing balances. Right, number one, subscription advance 2000. So remember, advance 2000 on 1st of January means opening. Right, so remember, if it's advance, all opening balances as per the format should come on the credit side. Right, so guys, you go and mark that one. Balance brought forward 2000. Right, so remember, that is an advance brought forward, so therefore guys, that should come on the credit side. Right, next one, advance as at 31st of December. Right, now remember, advance as at 31st of December means closing. So if the opening advance is coming on the credit side, closing advance now should come on the debit side. Right, so that's 1000. Right, then guys, next one, subscription in arrears 5,000 on January. So remember, arrears is an asset, so therefore the opening balance should always come on the debit side. So you mark that one over here. Right, again, balance brought forward 5,000. Okay, right, and then guys, last one, arrears Closing balance is 8,000. So remember, if the arrears opening is coming on the debit side, the closing should now come on the credit side. Right. So you guys, you mark that also. Carry it down. 8,000. Right. So guys, the subscription account is now complete. So like the last question, we have to find how much is missing on this side. So the missing figure is what you should label as income and expense. Right. So guys, number one, total up this side. So when you total up the credit side, 2,000, 20,000 and 8,000 will give you 30,000. Right. So guys, please take 30,000 as your total. Right, so again, how did we get 30,000 on this side? That is, we added all three to get 30,000. The same answer, guys, you put it over here. Now from 30,000, when you subtract 1,000 and when you subtract 5,000, the missing figure will now be income and expenditure 24,000. Right. So guys, that's how you prepare a basic subscription account. Right. So what I want to do is hope you have done these two questions in your writing book. If there are any doubts, please contact me and you can clear that. In the next video, we'll now be continuing question number 3 and question number 4 as well.